Hello and welcome to this video on Pythagoras' theorem. In this video I'm going to teach you how to use Pythagoras' theorem to find the missing side of a right angled triangle and also to find the distance between 2 points, right? So let's start off with what is Pythagoras' theorem. Well, if we have a right angled triangle like this, okay, and I know it's right angled because it's got this square in the bottom corner, which means those two sides meet at 90 degrees, so it's a right angled triangle. Then it says that side A, if I square it, and then add on side B squared, then it equals side C squared. Okay, now there is a rule for this, and for the formula to work, okay, side C always has to be the hypotenuse, okay, which is the longest side of the triangle, or it's the side that's opposite the right angle. Okay, so either the longest side or the one opposite the right angle, they're the same thing, there's just ways to remember it. A and B, it doesn't matter if I swap them over, the formula will still work, okay, but side C always has to be the longest side. And this formula is always true, right? So a squared plus b squared will equal c squared. So let's use this with numbers in an example. I think it makes it easier. So here it says find the value of x, okay? And we're given these two sides. Now let's remember the formula, okay? In fact, let me copy this formula and have it next to the example. Okay, so here it is, and the formula was a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So in this example here, okay, this would be our A, this would be our B. So let's work it out. We've got 4 squared plus 3 squared, and we don't know what the side C squared is, okay? It's that one there, so it's just going to be x squared for now, right? So 4 squared plus 3 squared equals x squared. Now let's simplify this, okay? So 4 squared is 16, and 3 squared is 9. So 16 plus 9 is equal to side x squared. Now we can go even further. We can say, well, 16 plus 9, that's 25. Okay, so 25 is equal to x squared. Now, if I just want to know what x is, because at the minute I know what x squared is, I can find that by taking the square root of both sides. Okay, and if I do that, I'll get 5 is equal to x. Now you might be wondering, usually when you take the square root you get a positive and a negative answer. The reason we ignore the negative answer is because, well, it's a length, isn't it? You can't have a negative distance, so we only accept the positive one. So therefore, this missing side here, x, is going to be 5. Nice and easy. You might see it slightly differently, okay, and you might see it looking like this, and I'll bring the formula down as well for this one, so just so we can see it. So, similar question, find the value of x. But this time you can see we've been given this side, but we've also been given the hypotenuse. And I know it's the hypotenuse because it's the side opposite the right angle. So let's put the information we know into the formula, okay? So I'm going to say that, let me just go back. I'm going to say that this is A and this is B. So we're going to have 5 squared plus, well, B is x, so x squared equals c squared. Well, c is this 13 now, so it equals 13 squared. So from here I'm going to do the same again. Well, 5 squared is 25 and x squared I don't know, so I'll leave it as x squared. Now 13 squared is 169, okay? So now I've got 25 plus x squared equals 169. But I want to get my x on its own because I want to find out what x is, so I want to solve this equation. So I can do that by subtracting 25 from both sides like this, okay? And if I do that, I'll get x squared is equal to 144. And now I've got x squared equals 144, I can square root both sides like I did previously, and I get x is equal to, and remember, I'm only interested in the positive answer because it's a distance, x is equal to 12. So this side here must be 12. Okay, now this example is slightly trickier. People tend to find this one a bit more difficult than finding the hypotenuse, but really it's the same thing. Just write out the equation from the a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and then you can go from there. Now finally, let's look at how we can use this to find the distance, okay, between 2 points. So this question says, find the length of line AB. So line AB, I'll draw it in blue, will be from A to B, and it will look something like that, okay? So we can use Pythagoras because you can imagine if let me change this to a checked line, okay, draw down here and then across, we actually have a right angled triangle. So where this here is a right angle and we're technically wanting to find this side here, which is the hypotenuse, and that will also tell me the length of the line. Okay, so we can do that, whoops, I'll leave that there. So we can do that, okay, by saying, well, what are the coordinates of point A? Well, it's 1 and 6. What are the coordinates of B? Well, that'll be, let's have a look, 5 and 3. So this distance here, okay, from A to B along the x-axis is going to be, so let's have a look, it's going to be 5 subtract 1, so I'm basically just subtracting the x coordinates, and we're left with 4, so that's a length of 4. And then to find the height of the triangle, okay, I'm going to basically subtract the y-axis. I'm going to do 6 subtract 3, which is again 3, so this length here is 3. And now I've got a right angle triangle with two sides that I can work with, so I know that a squared plus b squared is c squared, so 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to x squared. Now let's expand it, or multiply it all out, so we'll get 9 plus 16 is x squared, so 25 is equal to x squared, so x has to equal 5. So the distance here, x, is 5. And that's it. So thanks for watching. Go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe for more tutorials, or go over to my TikTok for loads of worked exam questions. Thanks for watching.